Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Challenger Face-Off. We are approaching the final stages potentially here as H2k are 2-0 at this point, and faculty really need something to pull themselves back, but they are struggling quite badly. I am joined, as you may be able to tell, by Broken Shard.
At you.
Somewhere someone is talking about you, Broken Shard.
At you. I'm sneezing.
I gathered. Yes.
3 mid bans now, and banning away Kikis's Lee, or maybe Lulex wants to spread his wings a little bit. Jarvan has actually been banned in both games up till now. So I expect either H2k to pick it early or UOL to pick it right now. Do it.
It's certainly a very, very strong pick, very versatile pick.
He's pretty much like the best jungler right now, actually. He's got a lower skill ceiling than Lee Sin, but at the same time, he's also not going to be able to like do some things that Lee Sin's can do. But he's he's good at a lot of different things, and not that he's just good at them, he's very good at them.
Yeah, like he can hard engage, he can gank early, he can gank mid game. Like it's just everything about him is very, very solid indeed. And as you said, he has been first picked there, so we have got to wait for our next one. We did actually see some amusing chat in the pre-game lobby, but
oh my god, you and your
they didn't follow up on it. The Biffin said he'd leave Syndra unbanned. Hasn't happened, so he's not going to get his favorite champ.
No, that would be silly.
Yeah, there is money on the line, and although H2k might be feeling very confident right now, you never do know. Teams have lost from 2-0 in best of fives before.
Yeah, it's happened. I just don't think it's very likely.
No.
Ari Corki, I like these two picks a lot. Corki, it's been picked every game so far. We saw Febivin's Zarya in the first game. I don't think there's any objections to these picks.
No, really not. Especially considering, again, it's that they both do still have that, like they're very good generalist picks, but they also have that synergy of if there's someone just running straight at you, if you're running a poke comp and the enemy's trying to engage, they can punish you pretty hard for trying. Not expecting the Gangplank jungle or the Fizz. We did see a Fizz jungle the other day. I can't remember who it was.
I mean, Kikis is known to play Fizz jungle.
It's not awful, but I'm not a
awful.
fan. Well, yeah, but like it's not untenably awful. Like you could conceive of a Fizz jungle winning a game, but I can't see why you would want to pick it.
Awful. Like, I'm just going to bring down any hope you've got of saying that it's not. It's just bad.
Rip Fizz jungle, apparently. That's just...
I just don't rate it.
You do rate it. Awful. Ha. There you go. Anyway, Nami and Lucian picked up. Very strong laning. Shocking to see it, I'm sure.
Oh, who knew? And faculty picking lane-winning champions.
True, but, well, maybe they can actually build up a big advantage from there, opposed to previously, where they have only gone roughly even. They certainly need something to change from their previous games. Not a lot's been working out for them so far. Katarina would be interesting.
Looking very good for them at all.
Would expect a Katarina.
Kha'Zix Janna. Kind of similar picks to what we saw in the first game, actually.
Might be identical. Like, I have a feeling they had all 4 of those champions in the first game.
They did, and they had a Maokai.
Yep, that was it. So, not going to be getting the same composition, but might be looking for something quite similar here. Maybe something a little bit less tanky. Aurelia is still available. Few options open here. You never know. Maybe one day we'll see the Jax from Odoamne, something like that. He certainly used to play that a lot. Not as good as it was. You never know. Or they could make my day and do Kha'Zix top and like Rengar jungle or something like that. Or Rengar top even. Or Tryndamere top, because I want to see it. But I'm doubtful, honestly. Rumble's open though. That could be good.
Rubble is probably the best pick.
Is he going to do it? It's possible.
I wouldn't agree with it. I think Rubble would be his best choice. Oh my god.
Eh. I'll just put away my crystal ball now. Because, you know, Udwamne certainly does have a very, very strong history with Jax. Like, he's played that champion a lot in the past, and it's been very, very good to him. I don't think I've seen a competitive Jax really.
It's a Jax.
The nerfs,
it's a Jax.
though.
It's not a whole. It's not a placeholder pick.
Yeah. I can dig it. I can dig it. And it's not like Maokai's going to be able to bully him out in lane.
No, probably not.
What's the power curve of Jax now, Broken Shard? Like, because he always used to be like, he was inexorable. Like, he would have a power curve where he was weak early and strong late, but no matter how badly you shut him down, he'd still get to be really, really strong late. As he is now, he doesn't have as many base stats. Has that changed that?
I think that Jax is still good.
All right. Well, we will be seeing
the power spike of what's it called? The power spike of the Blade Trinity is still insane. So I'd expect him to go Blade first against Maokai. Sustain really helps.
All right. Well, that's cool. Like, I could definitely see that pick working out here. It is going to be against Maokai, and Maokai has a lot of trouble with Aurelia. Jax can only be stronger in that picking potential later on when he's got 2 offensive items. Aurelia usually only goes 1. Regardless, though, the late timer is now in progress. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. So, guys, don't go anywhere. Do follow the channel in the bottom left corner of your screen, and we'll be right back. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are onto the Rift once again. This is H2k going up against Zen Faculty. 2-0 to H2k. We'll see if they can win out on this best of 5 and win themselves $2,000 as the grand prize of Hitbox ChallengerFaceOff. Of course, both of these teams are already at a minimum of 500 earned for themselves. Certainly does look like H2k are very solidly positioned to win out overall.
How do we win money, Spuddy?
We win money, you see, Broken Shard, by not dying to red buff.
Carry on.
I'm sorry, I'm waiting for you to quit the call.
Carry on.
It's okay, I've never died to red buff, probably. I wouldn't remember, because I just don't ever dual red buff. It's far too scary.
I'm just gonna sit here. Just nothing to say to you anymore, Spuddington.
Okay, well, let's just imagine that that we were both good players, and that there was some skill in the channel right now. What would you suggest for the current junglers, that being Kikis and Lulex, to be doing for their starting positions right now?
Not die to red buff, I guess, because that's all that matters.
Pretty
anyway,
hard.
No.
I think we might have actually seen someone die to red buff this tournament. I feel like it happened. I'm not even sure, but I think it did.
So Jarvan is much tankier than Kha'Zix, and is a much better early game jungle. So I'd expect Lulex to want to avoid 2v2s against the Jarvan directly, or just 1v1s in general. Jarvan is actually one of the best 2v2 junglers because of his EQ being so good if it lands. I guess it's a big if, because if you miss the EQ, they flash it, or you miss it yourself, doesn't really do much.
That's definitely true, but it's both a lot of CC and a lot of damage, which is why it's so good. If you get it on someone, doubly good if you can get it on two, it being an AoE skill after all. Going to be keeping an eye on this top lane, of course. The Jax pick from Odwamne, not one we've seen a lot of lately. Certainly looks to be sustaining himself up through the early game.
Comp-wise, Faculty have a much more team fight-oriented, like centric comp like that. The Jarvan, the Maokai, the Orianna. But if it comes down to actual picks, I'm not so sure. They both have very different win conditions. There's a lot of disengage and poke coming out of H2k's side, so I don't really think that they ever really need to commit to these team fights.
Yeah, that's going to be the big problem, because who is it that duels Jax if he gets rolling properly? Maokai? Well, maybe he can sit at the tower and wave clear, but Jax will eventually push him around there. Well, do you send Orianna? Well, no, she's not exactly an aggressive ganker, you know, to 2v1 that Jax. So there's very few answers if Jax does get ahead. But of course, if Jax is behind and you're just forcing team fights all the time, you will do very well for yourself. We did actually just see Jarvan and Kha'Zix saying hi and then saying bye shortly afterwards. Maybe Kik is going for top lane.
Kikis definitely would want to make something happen in the top lane. There's a lot of CC in that lane. The Maokai does provide a lot. Probably his best bet for a gank, definitely in that lane there.
Yeah, and Odwamne, you can see he's aware of this possibility, or perhaps should be. He was playing very carefully. Kikis, though, goes the way that gives him less of a good angle. So a little bit puzzled by that myself. Odwamne can be continuing to trade off against Xazus. Kikis actually does have his flash. Could well be a nice flag and drag. Flash is a touch early.
I guess a misplay from Kikis there, huh?
Yeah, that was a bit weird. Like, maybe he thought he was getting himself out of Counter-Strike range by doing that.
I mean, that's kind of how the Jax saves themselves from ganks, is that he pulls them in to them, and then he just Counter-Strikes them so that they don't do much there.
Yeah, still very puzzled there. It's not. It's most unlike Kikis, particularly, to be making an error like that. But still,
I mean, if we're being completely honest, it hasn't been his best series.
No, but generally his problems, when Kikis makes mistakes, it's generally like being caught out. It's being out of position on the map. It's not failing to execute correctly. Well, still, doesn't matter if Xaxus gets killed here. Lulex is going to be coming up, getting a lot of damage and slowdown, but is not going to be actually picking up the kill.
Flash Force is fine, though. It'll allow Odoamne a little bit more leeway in the lane for a little bit. And just allows him to scale out, become better later in the game. So that's kind of, I guess, what they're hoping from this.
Doubly nice as well, because Xaxus had just rejoined, so he just teleported back in, and then he gets cut down to half health, so now there's not even a threat of an all-in.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, is that he uses teleport and instantly comes back to lose the lane.
It's unfortunate for him, but Xaxus has not been able to beat out Odoamne in any of the games we've seen. Especially not when he was playing Fiora. And now it's actually going to get even worse because Xaxus has no way out of this.
That's a first blood on the last person you want to get first blood. If we're talking about bad series, Xaxus has not had a great time in this game. In his last game on Fiora, he went 0-7. In his first game on Aurelia, he went something like 0-5.
Let's look at this positively, though. Odoamne is having a great series. He's doing very, very well for himself.
I mean, he did two different things. In the first game, he played tank and got no kills, actually got 5 assists only. But he controlled his lane well with the assistance of Lulex in some situations. Played around his mid laner and just did kind of what Maokai should do, which was disrupt and protect.
Yeah, he was always in the right place at the right time, supportive of the team. Maokai not the biggest playmaker. Like you can kind of, like sometimes you can get like a really good flank with a Maokai, but that's kind of about it. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you just Maokai on them. You go to their back line and you disrupt them.
Sounds like a very kinky sex move right there. Let's do the Maokai tonight.
Let's do the Okay, trees. Yeah. So anyway, it's dodgy enough as it starts, and I think we're going to finish that line of inquiry right now.
No, let's talk about it some more.
I'll Maokai you in a minute if you're not careful.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so Lulex coming towards top lane. Evolved wings, actually, so...
Yeah, he did that in the first game as well.
It is the aggressive ganking choice, really. So with Odoamne to set him up, this should be a, frankly, trivial exercise in murdering trees. And Xaxus will not be doing the Maokai anytime soon.
Double flash, though I guess one of them could have flashed. And Odoamne does end up getting the kill. That's great. But a little bit of a miscommunication on who should flash. Another kill. Not going to complain about that. And that's just putting this Jax one step closer towards that Trinity Force he seems to be building first. A Dragon, it'll go in the, I guess, towards Unicorns of Love. They're picking that up. So that's a little bit of a gold swing back in their favor.
Captain.
Yes.
That's not Unicorns of Love, Captain.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I saw Kikis and thought Unicorns of Love instantly.
That's fair play. He does play for them normally, so yeah, you could be forgiven this one. You shall live today.
I'll live tonight.
Possibly not after you've done the Maokai. But anyway, with Forbiven moving towards the mid lane, he is doing very well for himself once again. 75 to 67, building himself that CS advantage. CS in top lane, going the way of H2k, and once again, it actually looks like their laning is just superior.
So Orianna generally actually has an advantage over Ahri pre-6. Ahri should not actually be winning this lane because Orianna just has better trading mechanics, but I guess Purefect is trying to play a little bit safer considering that he died a lot to ganks. And there's another gank onto Xaxus, not having the greatest of times, being pushed out. And just, even though they're not getting kills from this gank here, it's putting pressure on Xaxus to play safer and give Odoamne more breathing room to just scale, which is kind of what Jaxes need to do.
Yeah, well, we're actually putting this into a situation now. I mean, we mentioned it before. Like, the win condition here for H2k is get Jax rolling, apply map pressure by split pushing. There's no one that can 1v1 him. It's actually going to be tricky if he gets really fed for them to even 2v1 him effectively, and certainly not to kill him in that scenario.
No,
so what do they do?
Jarvan and Maokai have no chance of being able to 2v1 the Jax. They're just not good duelists.
That's why we're seeing so much pressure.
If it was pre-nerf Lee, I might have been able to see some potential there, but it's not looking good right now, buddy.
Yeah, and Forbidden actually goes aggressive in the mid lane. Does force the flash out of pure effect. No ult forced, so he does have a small advantage in trading for the foreseeable future. Xaxus, this time they predicted it. Jarvan is going to come in and will return fire. Lulex may be able to get himself out here. He's very, very low, though, and will get dropped.
And that's the thing, that Jarvan just has really strong damage at this point in the game. Kha'Zix, he's not an early game jungler. I would still consider this the early game, and a good double kill picked up by Kikis, but I mean, that's still Jax getting kills, and it's just going to only slightly slow down the inevitable, which is the hyper carry status of the Jax late game.
You've got to wonder why we haven't seen this happen before, though. Kikis, that was what, his first gank of the game, and it was a really good counter gank, predicting the obvious, honestly, that Lulex would return to top and try to get Jax even more snowballed. But that hasn't been happening so far, and Kikis has been spending the entire game almost farming.
Farming with a Jarvan is a little bit concerning, considering how much early pressure the Jarvan should be able to put on the Kha'Zix, and how little pressure he's actually been able to do in practice. It's just not been happening.
That's really not that great from him, but well, we've been criticizing his series as a whole. Maybe he just wanted to get some time alone to farm himself up to be powerful so he can start to make the plays he wants to. Xaxus has a sixth sense and detects the possibility that he may be not long for this world. Kikis also detects a bug. Not able to excise it, and So's Pure Effect is going to kind of force him away, and actually flash in from Kikis with the ultimate as well. They do pick up Lulex.
Very aggressive play from Kikis there. Good. Kill goes to Xaxus. I guess he could use that very much so.
Also keeping an eye on this bot lane right now, because End Faculty did just get dived.
No! Oh my goodness! Kikis.
What? What happened?
Okay, Ruben, you need to go back and replay that. That was freaking hilarious. Please go back and replay that. So basically, Kikis was getting jumped on by Odoamne, and freaking Xaxus teleports away instead of canceling the teleport to help him.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. By the way, what happened in bot lane? Since I guess you were looking at top and I was looking at bot, there was Mountain trying to bait them into diving, and Cedrin actually just like waited in the brush around the corner. So that ended up being very, very messy. That forced Xaxus to try and TP down.
I just want to say I absolutely freaking hate this skin. The freaking dung, dung, dung. Like, those noises just drive me up the wall. We're gonna be hearing a lot of that this game, considering that it's a Jax. He will want to hit turrets and stuff. That's kind of what he does.
Well, at least after the first 3 hits, it'll be the third strike sound over and over and over again, which actually may not be a good thing. But Odoamne, he is looking for another kill here potentially. Xaxus spots it out, gets down the ward. Forbidden is going to steal away this blue buff. The rest of the team, well, does actually look to return fire. Kick is going for the enemy blue.
Yeah, it seems to be that besides the thing.
You seem to have lost some words.
English is very hard language.
It's true. There are a lot of words in it. Or so I'm told. Such a tale I have been regaled with in the past. Lulex throwing out the blow. Forbidden throwing out himself as he just goes in, takes down one, and now going to be going in for the second. Mountain forced a flash. Very, very nice once again. Forbidden setting up the kills.
Evan's like, man, screw my team. I'm going hard. That's just that.
Well, they didn't have the damage there to kill him. It was what? It was Jarvan and Nami. Unless it's a very fed Jarvan, you ain't 100-0ing him.
Or will you?
No. Unless it's an AP Nami. I guess that's the other possibility. I'm still not seeing it. It's not. BFG Nami is not normally the thing we see from the support. I did see Shushay play it once though. It wasn't very good.
Kind of generally story of Shushay's life right there.
Gosh. He
Lazy.
peaked too early.
That's basically the story, isn't it? Plays everything, just the keyword is not that good.
Only.
Anywho.
If only there was some way of improving one's keyboard.
I guess that's true. I'd like to see Febiven, I guess, move around with the Jacks, because with the Jacks, the Jacks will basically draw people to him for ganks, and Febiven and Jacks together could almost easily win those 2v2, even 2v3, considering how strong they are right now, and maybe give some Lulex some time to farm up, because I mean, it's no like everyone knows just how good Kha'Zix scales are.
It's like the play right now for H2k in general is to try and create a safe zone for Odwamne to just pressure, and that's why we're seeing now Voidal, Lulex, Biven. They're in this area not just for the sake of, you know, pressuring that tower themselves. They're going to want to clear the wards out and then go somewhere else so that Odwamne can be left top, continue to pressure. Maybe they'll leave someone else in the area to catch any stragglers, like Purefect maybe, but he's not going to be moving any further in. And actually, they are going to Baron, so that is a thing.
They're doing a thing, man, and Febiven is basically putting pressure on the map in front there. Meanwhile, Hjarnan in the bot lane pushing minions. This Baron is... Oh, Kikis does smell it out. Does walk out and says, "Hey, get off my
I know what you're doing here. Don't give me any of your flannel."
I can smell the Maokai in the air. Oh,
Yeah.
but a fight. Mountain will go down. That will not be a reset, but Kikis should go down. Double kill for Febiven. Ultimate pulls everybody in. He does get out though. Purefect is in a lot of trouble. Reset City. Lulex gets out. Will he drop to the ignite? A 3-for-1, but Xazus flashes in there. Oh, I think the tree. Oh, Voidal. You're killing me. Oh, but he will die to auto Omnis. Smack to the face.
Odwamne is tanky enough to dive the tower regardless.
Actually, to mention that he's actually not building DPS items. He's building almost tank item after the Trinity Force.
That is interesting. I mean, yeah, obviously he needs at least one damage item. And weirdly enough, this used to be the thing we saw people do, like, a long time ago, was just Triforce into tank. And then people were like, hang on, if we built Triforce and Blade of the Ruined King, we put out so much damage and we're still tanky enough that no one can deal with us, and also we can just, like, chase you on the tower and kill you. As it is now, I can kind of see the logic here. He's not getting as much tankiness from his base stats, so he needs to be at least hitting a certain point where he's not quite killable. And this may be a good way of doing it.
I mean, I guess it's because he knows that he has the Kha'Zix as a DPS jungler. That he's more than fine to build tank, and he doesn't. I don't think they'll lack the damage. He'll still be very strong.
I can certainly see that as well. He is really quite a problem right now and is teleporting up towards this pink ward here. Xazus may be out of position. This could be a big problem for End Faculty. The stun does land for Biven from the side. Catches Source Purefect but gets pulled back in. Can they finish him off here? No, they actually can't, as Xazus just does not have the damage. He will be getting dropped very soon, surely, and it is Odwamne taking him down. Lulex looking to chase this up under the tower. Odwamne
triple for that Jack.
gets himself out.
Just like that, my food also arrived, so it's a really good time for H2k to end if you're listening, boys. I'm hungry.
Well, we're approaching 20 minutes. I think End Faculty have very good chances. I'm not
You're either
sarcastic.
optimistic or very silly.
I am entirely serious all the time, 100%.
It's nice and all, you know, to believe.
How do I sarcasm?
I don't think that there's much that End Faculty can really do at this point. The Jacks just got too big. And it'll take them a long time before they can actually teamfight effectively. Because even though that they have the better teamfight comp, they're just too far behind.
Yeah, it really is just a no-win situation for them at this point. Unless H2k gets overconfident, that's the only possible scenario where they lose out. Because if we got to like ultra late game and there were no inner towers and Odwamne was struggling to find a purchase on which to grab and just push and push and push, and eventually they got baited into a team fight, maybe something like that could happen. But yeah, I don't realistically see it happening. I think in Faculty, they lose the Baron here. It could be too much for them to come back from, and even as it is now, it's already a massive gap. Zazus is in a bit of trouble right now, or perhaps it's Odwamne who needs the help out here, but they are really struggling to put him down. And Cedrin's been caught out by Lulex. He gets taken out very, very quickly indeed. Jax did eventually drop, but that's been 3 kills for H2k. Trying to return fire. May have gone too far, but with the Kha'Zix and... Oh, god damn it, my cat is attacking me.
Oh, the double bubble!
Oh, man.
Not able to ult, but Yarnan is just like, screw my team, I'm pushing bot lane. And, I don't know, man, it's just... I feel like H2k could just probably end the game if they really want to. They're just mucking around a bit.
Yeah, like across the board, they're just a long way ahead. They've got so many options. They're going to take away the dragon, probably. I'd imagine they'll be going for the Baron next. Because if in Faculty come, they disengage and they fight them and they win just on the grounds of the gold. Or we're going to see a surrender vote. Yep, that's another option. So, in commanding fashion, H2k, 3-0s in Faculty. Very well-deserved victory for them. They'll be taking home $2,000 for themselves. So very, very good stuff from them. And I believe that is going to be it for us for today. Of course, any final thoughts on the game from you, Broken Shard?
It just seems